Be prepared for highly offensive language throughout, gender issues and frank sexual themes. So I'm in the best possible place to actually inspect that kitchen floor. I mean, for Anne, after all, it was a high priority. She was sticking to it. But Ashley and Genuine sticking together. Have a banana. It's time for Celebrity Big Brothers. A bit on the side.
Come to Celebrity Brothers, be on the side. I'm wearing a jumper, guys. I'm wearing a jumper. Ashwine are set to be back on. God bless G. Lovely G. Wait until Ashley left the room before breaking wind. If that ain't love, come on. I don't know what is. Can I get an amen for that, actually? Thank you, yes. And if the way to a man's heart is having your...
skirt up to the Lord knows where.
Yes, it seems the way to a child's heart is the unicorn onesie, magic shoes also do the trick, and a nice little sit-down disco. Love that. I'll do that. But before we continue, we must acknowledge one of TV's greatest comebacks since Bobby Ewing popped up in the shower. It's one for the kids there. Yeah, this weekend saw a couple of the old ones loving. It is the return of the Big Brother shopping list chalkboard. She's a sight for sore eyes, isn't she? Do you know what I love about this chalkboard? Not many people actually know this. As a presenter, sometimes you just need a little reminder. The housemates use it for shopping, but I use it to find out what's coming up on bots. So, coming up... India returns. Yeah. She left the house on Friday and tonight she returns to the bot studio. She's going to be here and she's got plenty more to say. Let me tell you, did you see the right stuff? Noms news. Yeah. It's Noms Day. The men have nominated for the first time this series, and if you've been online, you'll know that John has already been put up for eviction. There he goes. All the way from here as well. And a bots exclusive, guys. That's what it says there. The Noms news doesn't stop there, because in a bots exclusive, we're going to be revealing which housemate will be joining him later in the show. And that's the end of the list, everyone. End of the list. You've got the partner down. There we go. But now we offer them balloons, party bags, soft play blocks, so they're promised to remain seated. It is time to meet tonight's panel. He was known for being a right little gossip in the school playgrounds. There was only one career path he could take. It's the Sun's showbiz editor, Dim Wooten. She had a very short attention span in the classroom, but what she lacked in discipline, she made up for in front of the telly. It's Sandy Bogle! And this one excelled at music and theatre studies, always handed in her own work on time, and she's been on the show so many times, we've made her head girl tonight. It's Michelle Hean! Now, that's a panel. Right, let's start tonight with Ashwine. They're kind of off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Kind of relationship is on-ish again. Dan, are we pleased to see them two make up?
No. No. I hate this relationship so much. I actually think it must be one of the biggest showmances in the history of Big Brother. And that is saying something.
You think it's a showman?
Oh, goodness, yes. But
all I'm hearing is, oh, from behind me.
But it's just awkward and uncomfortable, and I don't actually like watching it.
Well, this actually all started, with Genuine telling Ashley at the weekend, tonight's the night. Michelle, can you understand why Ashley got a bit rattled by that?
I understand why she could have been rattled by it, but then she went and reciprocated what he was saying by sat on his knee on the sofa, and then she was in his presence. If she was not bothered and she did not want to reciprocate what he was saying, she should have moved away at that point, but instead she went to him. So in my eyes, she wants that to be the night as much as he did.
He seemed quite shocked, actually, that one little comment could upset her as much as it clearly did from what she was saying, and he wanted to know more about her backstories. Sandy, are you getting the impression that Genuine genuinely cares about Ashley?
No, I don't.
Oh, OK! She's saying
Can we
care.
be real, babes? No, I was with Genuine not long ago. No, don't get it twisted. At an event.
Oh, yeah. You thought that was a poll.
I had to put it in a bit slow, so I know it's a bit disappointing to you all, but it is a show romance, my darling.
You think it's a showman?
It is a show romance.
Well, they did create quite a bit of frosty air in the house, especially between them two. Ashley missed their flirty friendship, she called it. Dan, from Ashley's point of view, do you think it is just the friendship she's after, or do you think there's any more to it from her side? I love it how you're just like, this is all balls.
Well, yeah, I think she's after both attention inside the house and attention outside the house.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah.
That's it. No more.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
I agree.
Nothing. Sandy
Yes.
agrees. Well,
I
they
agree.
did make up, didn't they? And Ashley seemed delighted. She positively skipped out of that toilet, didn't she? She was like, oh, it's all fine in the world.
Nothing happened.
Are we going to see this relationship move up again? In her EasyJet jumper. Go on, girl.
Yes, Genuine, he's hot to get under the duvet with Ashley, and I think Ashley will reciprocate.
You think she will?
She'll regret it, but yes.
It's desperate. I think they're just both bored and passing time.
You just think they're bored? Who thinks it's not going to happen? Anyone think it's not going to happen?
Look, come on, he was under the bed sheets, right? When she jumped into the bed. He couldn't escape. There's nowhere for him to go.
Do you think he wanted to escape?
Well, not really, but she's all chasing him all the time, isn't she? I mean, he moves room and she moves room.
Well, do you know what? We could talk about him all night, and we probably will talk him about a bit later on, but let's quickly move on to the task, because Genuine must have been thrilled to see that Ashley is good with children. He's got 9, guys. Michelle, were you pleased to see that Ashley got immunity from that?
I spent a lot of time with Ashley about a year ago in Disneyland Paris with my family. You know, Faith and
Other theme parks
AJ.
are available, guys.
You know my family, right? You know Faith, AJ, and you. And she was lovely to my kids. She was very nice, but she wasn't as nice as she was in that room. So she knows the cameras are on her a little bit. Look, can I just play devil's advocate here and just say that maybe she was interested a little bit at the beginning, and maybe she's now not, and she doesn't know how to get out of it. Like, she is a nice person. I'm not saying she's not being genuine in the house, but she's all right. Like, she's not as bad as we're all giving her. I just have to say that.
No, well, that's fair enough. I mean, you've met her, you know her. Going back to the task, actually, Andrew thought the only reason that Ashley actually won the task was because of the unicorn costume. Hashtag bitter, just putting it out there. Sandy, do you think Andrew was just a little bit sour about the whole situation?
Babes, I think any kid will love you off if you put on a bloody outfit. I don't get it. Like, you know, like you put on a funny outfit. I think, yeah, any kid will bloody love you.
Do you think that's the reason why she won it?
Yeah. Yeah. Babes, like, listen, I put on so many different outfits, I can make the whole world love me off.
They already do. We all love you anyway.
I mean, yeah, that's why she won it, because, yeah, you know, kids love that kind of stuff, don't they?
Well, regardless of all of that, Andrew was actually quite keen for Ashley to wax his bum tonight. For whatever reason, though, Ashley wanted Anne to give permission, and it's fair to say Anne weren't up for the crack.
I think your mother would be very embarrassed by that conversation.
Sorry, Anne. Dan, was Andrew deliberately trying to embarrass Anne like she thought?
I actually really don't know about that. I found the whole situation quite strange. I think Anne definitely overreacted, obviously. But at the same time, what was Ashley playing at? Like, was it some type of weird flirtation thing? And then...
But why did Ashley want
know.
to get Anne's permission to do it?
I know, that's the thing. I don't
It was a little bit odd, wasn't it?
And actually, at the end of the day, you could argue that it was actually Ashley who put Andrew in that position, even though it's Andrew who's getting all of the heat from Anne.
'cause she
But also,
asked him
Anne does
to.
have to understand, right? And I have been a fan of Anne in this show, but it is 2017, and she's making
2018 now! You work for the press. Fake news!
I'm leaving now.
Well, actually, with regards to sort of Andrew's saucy sense of humour, Anne actually said...
Vulgar and tawdry, unnecessary, infantile. And it may entertain the people who watch Big Brother, but it wouldn't entertain anybody whose opinion I respect.
That was her exact words. Thank you, Anne. Been learning off of Luke, haven't I? Sandy, This is Celebrity Big Brother. Yeah, this isn't some like holiday camp where everyone's got to be all prim and proper all the time. Is she in the wrong show, do you think?
I don't think she's in the wrong. No. To be honest, Big Brother is. Listen, it's versatile.
Yeah.
Everybody is allowed to go.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. Big her up, big time.
But everyone shouldn't change their behaviour, though,
but
for
she's
Anne.
old school.
No, I agree. They shouldn't change their behaviour for Anne, and they are
But they
doing.
are.
That's not Anne's fault.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Like,
nothing to do
Anne's
with
not
her.
asking them to change.
Well, she sort of was tonight.
No, but they're overthinking it, man.
Dan, let me come to you. Why do you think, because I think it is quite fair to say, we've seen a lot of times as well, the housemates, we've spoken about it at times as well, they do feel that sometimes around Dan, they can't be a certain way, or because the lights go off in the bedroom at a certain time, things like that. We heard them talk about Jess and Ashley, actually, I think it was the other night. Do you think they are moderating themselves around Anne? And
100%.
do you think that's Anne's fault?
100%. I don't think it's her fault, but I think they need to stop that because, believe me, Anne can give as good as she gets.
Yes.
This is a woman who is very, very used to taking on people.
Yeah.
She's got very controversial views, and I like Anne in the house. I don't agree with her views. She needs to be taken on some of these views, and right now it's a bit like she's been treated as if she's the kind grandma of the house, and that is not Anne Whittingham, you know.
But why do you think people aren't? Because, look, we all know, I'm sure you read the press, and we know what Anne stands for. We've seen she says she don't agree with this, she don't agree with that, she wants to implement this, she doesn't want to implement that. Why do you think people aren't really challenging those views? We saw Shane Jay a little bit talk about it, but it was... The best way for me to put it, it was more like a very fair, calm debate, which isn't a bad thing, but why are people not challenging
Well,
them
don't you think that was something that was set up right at the start in that argument with India over the bed? Because there was this whole thing of respect your elders.
Yeah.
And then that was sort of the position that the rest of the house took. And it was actually only India who was prepared to challenge Anne early on. And so I think that might change now. Although, actually, if you saw Andrew, he was like a puppy dog around
Yeah, I mean,
tonight, wasn't he?
everyone's a little bit frightened of Anne. I think I make them right as well.
I get the whole respect your elders thing, and I get it. But when you're in Big Brother, it's an even keel. No matter what your age,
I agree.
what your sexuality, whatever you've gone in as, it's an even keel.
But she wants that. She's a tough woman.
No, that's what I mean. So she's a tough woman, so she can take it. But I think people are pussyfooting around her because she thinks that they have to. And also, Rachel, can we please just say that Rachel is advocating things that people see in Anne? She is stirring the pot with other people in there. Right? Yeah, 100%. She's like the middleman. She's making people see things in Anne that maybe they wouldn't have seen, and then that's why they're now precautious and cautious of what they say to her because of Rachel.
She literally does that's exactly it. She literally throws the card out. She sees something coming. She sees
it
them
and
walk in.
she's
She
doing
like
it.
throws the
Does
cards
anyone
out,
disagree
all
with
of
that?
it. They all literally come through.
No?
If you take Anne out this show, there won't be a show because she's the only one.
Oh, darling, there'll always be a show. Come on.
She's the only one in there at the moment causing any conflict.
A bit of friction.
Oh, no, I know you're watching her.
Listen, guys, I'm really sorry, but you've been such good chat. I've got to rent it there. No. I would say that was quite a good chat. And what do you think?
I can't believe this conversation is entertaining to anybody.
Coming up, India's back on the sofa, guys. The aftermath is here and things are getting explosive in the bathroom. Plus, I'm going to be revealing who'll be joining John on the latest list of nominees. Don't go anywhere. See you after this. Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Still to come tonight, we're going to be finding out who's making headlines inside the house, why my learned friend Dan Wooden tells us who's making headlines outside the house. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Love it. But first, a little surprise for you, Rylan. Keep reading. What? It's time to hear from your toughest critics. Roll VT, you bastards.
This is Rylan. Do you recognise the man in the picture?
I don't know who it is. Is it beginning with C?
It begins with R. This man's called Rylan.
Rylan. Who's Rylan?
Do you know the name Rylan?
No.
Rylan's a presenter.
What? He's been in here. I know his hair.
Is that the same colour as yours?
Well, my hair's dark black.
And does he look like a nice man?
Yeah, because he's smiling.
And does he look like a nice man?
No.
What can I say? I love the kids. I love the kids. You wait till I get off air. You wait till the break. Right, but now, like a modern-day Cinderella. I had no idea about that, by the way. India had to make a mad dash out of the studio on Friday night, but we've got some unfinished business to attend to. So before we pick up where we left off, here's the aftermath.
Celebrity Big Brother house. I can now reveal the person leaving the house tonight is India. Where did it all go wrong for our superfans?
I know. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting to mix it up, a few scuffles, maybe a little bit of mischief. Just wasn't that sort of house. Well, that's me in the buggy. I'm really excited because now I'm going to meet Rylan on board. Friends!
Give it up for gorgeous India winner.
I expected to see India leave. Personally, I'm a little bit sad because I thought she was awesome TV, but kind of get to talk to her now, so I'm semi-happy.
Just in the space of an hour of coming out of the house, she's managed to turn it round. And there's a lot of sympathy and a lot of warmth and a lot of genuine, she should have stayed in, whereas before it was a different opinion.
Maybe India would be happy if Andrew had dressed as a Dalek.
That was the first time that I felt a twinge.
I did feel sorry for her because, like she kept saying, she ballsed it up. We've lost a jolly good housemate.
Please give it up for India!
That was great, and I'm just relieved that I'm not a hate figure. There's a lot of love in the room, so I'm happy.
I'm gutted she's out. I really, really am, because she was a really talked about housemate.
Well, I'm off to my hotel room now. I'm going to chuck on the telly because I've been deprived of media. And do you know what would really make my day come true? If there's some reruns of Doctor Who. Exterminate! Exterminate!
Ladies and gentlemen, give up for India winning! I can see you tearing up then.
Oh, I know.
How are you feeling?
I'm missing it.
You've been a free woman, though.
I have. I've enjoyed my freedom, and it's nice to be out of a room where, to be honest, I wasn't the most popular gal in town. But it has been good. You know, I've had the drag queen mafia on, threatening to give me a makeover. I've had the Vatican saying, get out of Anne Widdecombe's bed. It's been really, really tough.
You've had a time of it.
I've had a time of it.
You've had a time of it. What, other than all of that, what's the reaction been like for people that you've seen and people that you've caught up with?
Well, my family were really worried about me because nobody
Your
likes
poor
to see.
mum,
I
your
know my
lovely
mum was
on the show
breaking
with
her
us last
heart
week.
because obviously she saw me getting upset and that on the telly. But surprising, it's been a mixed bag. I would say, if I'm being absolutely honest, 50-50, but I'm happy with that. It's controversial. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion, and I'm really glad that I stuck to my opinion. No, there's not enough of that in that house.
I think that's a fair point, and, you know, it's good that you're owning it. You said, you self-proclaimed, you know, I cocked it up in there.
I did.
I felt like I played the wrong type of show. Looking back, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but what would you have done differently, if anything?
Well, I've now had the privilege of actually watching some of the footage and the conversations that I wasn't privy to. And it's interesting that you're talking about Rachel, because I think that was the start of my demise. Rachel's very good at planting bombs and then walking off and waiting for them to explode. And the footage I've seen, I mean, I've never met Rachel before. She seemed a good girl. I thought she was my friend in the house. But she was misgendering me from day one. And that just percolates around the house. Somebody like that does it all the time. Other housemates pick up. She knew that that would annoy me.
Do you think there was any spite in that from her? Do you think that was intentional?
I don't think it was spite, but I think it was deliberate, and it was a game plan on her part. I totally absolve Amanda Barry. You know, I don't blame her.
I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that.
Amanda caught me at a time where I'd had 2 days of being constantly misgendered and having to explain myself. It's not like I look like a prop forward.
No, we totally get it.
Do you know what I mean?
No, we get it.
So, and it's not as if I walk around the country going, I'm a woman! I'm a woman! I don't. It's only when I've got to reaffirm who I am. And I think Amanda was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And she got
when I exploded and she got
Do you know what? I think knowing
brunt of
Amanda
it.
as well, I've met her a few times, I think that would mean a lot to her,
Yeah,
what
we've
you've
made
just
friends
said
now,
there.
and we're great.
I
We
think
made
that's a
friends in the
lovely
house
thing.
before we came out, and that's good.
Well, enough about the Barry.
Yeah.
On Friday night, we run out of time on this show, but you dropped a little bomb of your own, may I just say. Malika, you said there's a side to her, and I couldn't get it out of you.
Definitely.
So, talk to me about her.
Do you know what, Ryland? She was really starting to grate on me.
Why?
So much. Well, during the day, you've got house tasks, you know, chores, the normal sort of stuff. Oh, I'm so poorly, I can't move, I need a blanket. She wasn't doing anything. And then the champagne would come out on the night, and it's party time. She comes alive again. She's never cleaned a toilet in her life. Ever. I think she is a woman, obviously she's from the Kardashian universe, and I think she is, used to be waited on and not doing the dirty things.
Do you think
in life.
she's lazy in that?
I think she's lazy, she's not pulling her weight, and I think she thinks she's the queen bee.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think... Oh, a couple of people seem to agree with you there as well. Do you think there's any malice in her?
I think she's just out for herself, plain and simple. I think she's very good at putting on the pretense with all the makeovers and looking after people. But at the end of the day, there's a rationale behind what she's doing. She knows exactly that she's trying to woo people over onto her side. It's a calculated ploy.
Oh, this is why I hate the fact that you're out, but I love the fact that you're out, because we can have these conversations. It's so nice having a woman on the know. You called Ashley and Genuine quite a lot, and you said, yeah, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Go on.
Oh, no, I've had a 360...
Well, this is what I want to know. You've been outside now. You've seen more, probably.
Yeah, do you know what? It strikes me, it's one of those... It's one of those frustrating things where it almost looks as if it's about to happen, and then somebody in the background's shouting, cut!
Oh, really?
And nothing happens. They all back off. It all backs off. And for me, you know, Ashley's a veteran of reality television. She's done the other show. Again, I didn't mention it. That was good. And she knows what works in this genre of television.
Do you think it will happen?
No. Categorically not.
Absolutely not, says India. Well, listen, as much as I'm gutted that you're out of that house, and may I just say you look absolutely stunning tonight as well. You really, really do. You look beautiful.
You too.
As much as you're out, and I'm disappointed that you're out, I'm so happy to say I'm going to get you back on the Bots panel where you belong. We love you, but for now, please give it up for India, everyone. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Right, it's time for tomorrow's headlines and today's news. OK, our top stories tonight. Johnny, Shane J and Andrew kick up a stink. Wayne gets flexible with his housemates. And Miss Widdy has Rachel seeing red. What's that panto it is tonight? First up at 12:32, Johnny, Shane J and Andrew got philosophical.
Oof. It's not safe to go in there, is it?
I don't feel like it's safe for me to be in anywhere at the moment. My ass is on fire.
And burgers came at a price last
Oh, yeah, I've not felt right since, actually. They were good.
I'm going to brave the fumes and contribute to them. I'll be back when I finish contributing to global warming. Nah.
No, that
was...
That bad?
Yeah.
So now?
Yeah, no. I'll wait
What was
for
the
that.
consistency?
I don't know, I didn't even look. I mean, it felt heavy.
I always look at my poo.
I looked at the one this morning, it was ginormous. Do you know what? Every day, someone on planet Earth unknowingly does the biggest poo in the world for that day.
That's actually true, man. Someone unknowingly does the biggest everything and the best everything every single day.
Someone unknowingly does the biggest poo every day.
Yeah.
I wonder if I've ever got close.
It's actually for everything, though, isn't it? Someone brushes their teeth the quickest every single day. Even if it's by a...
Some people don't brush their teeth, so...
This is the youngest you'll ever be, ever again.
And the oldest.
Did you say I'm the oldest?
Yeah.
And why would this be the oldest I'll ever be?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Didn't think that through.
No, you didn't.
No, there's a phrase, but I got it wrong.
Think it's safe to say the boredom's kicked in, guys. The boredom's kicked in. Next at 12:58, Daniel thanked Wayne in his own special way for a stretch masterclass.
So we're going to do 4 of these. Open the arms.
You've got quite a class.
Have you turned round? Oh, wow! Right, OK. Just mirror me, don't do me. I mean, don't try and reverse on me. And right, left, and open, and down. Head down onto the knees. Now straighten the knees. And come up. What is that?
Sort of all that.
Is somebody sending up my daily routine that I've done for 60 years?
They're also supple. And at 2:36, Rachel told Daniel how she's been played by a housework-shy Anne Widdecombe.
And saying that you've been really grumpy and stroppy, you're definitely going to go. And I'm like, I want to go, but, you know, I don't want to feel that is why, because I don't think I have been that stroppy.
Yeah.
And Anne's been winding me up. So I become grumpy and stroppy. Yes!
Oh. I think maybe you're thinking a bit too much into it, but I'm not communicating with Anne constantly.
She's the only one who's actually made it difficult doing the kitchen work. No one else. Everyone else has been very aware that it's been, you know, it's a stupid game.
Yeah.
She's taken it far more seriously than anyone else.
That's what she does, isn't it?
And I feel that because I'm female, she feels she can give, and I'm younger than her, she can order me. So, it's all right.
Don't mess with a Johnson. Ever. And that's the Night Spots news! All right, coming up after the break, CBB is the topic on everyone's lips as Den Wooden talks us through the headlines that have made the national news. Wouldn't you like to know? Plus, the men have been busy in the diary room making their first nominations of the series. So stay tuned, because I'm going to be exclusively revealing who is up for eviction alongside John. You do not want to miss it. See you after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side. So, coming up tonight...
I don't want to continue this conversation.
No, but I've actually got some news, Anne.
You knew I would be offended by the crudity, and you did it. You did it because you think that sort of thing is funny, and I don't.
All right, look, Anne, look, I didn't mean it. I apologise. I promise you, I really do apologise.
Is that a guarantee that you're not going to do it again?
Well, well, look, I mean, I'm not going to guarantee, but I mean, I'll watch what I'll say next time. I can't.
How did you expect me to react to that?
Well, do you know what, Anne? Shut up, Anne! Trying to present a show! God's sake, it's an exclusive, all right? And there's speculation into the house who'll be up for eviction every time, Alan.
I think it's going to be me and you.
Oh, what? I think so. Oh, I think so. I've no doubt.
They won't, darling. They're not going to want... Look...
Well, Rachel's been stroppy and snappy, and I've been puritanical. I think they'll get...
You haven't. You haven't.
Have I been stroppy and snappy?
No, you've been intelligent and interesting and fun.
Oh, yes, in conversation,
and a
absolutely.
goer and everything.
I don't think I've been that grumpy.
Well,
I have been grumpy with you.
Oh, well, I'm not nominated. So it doesn't matter how grumpy you are with me.
Oh, I don't think you can. I don't think you can double guess it. It's like everything else in here. You cannot guess it.
Are they right, though? Are they right? I'm going to be revealing very soon who is up for eviction. But I know this might be the year of the woman, but if Page 3 ever had a topless bloke, I'd have my fingers crossed it was going to be this guy, because it's time for... Wouldn't you like to know? Give up for done one, everyone! Wouldn't you like to know? A very good liar. Wouldn't you like to know? But listen, this year, I mean, it's fair to say the press are really loving Celebrity Big Brother. Even the Times has been writing about us, guys. Highbrow! Highbrow! As our man on the inside, why do you think that is?
Obviously, there was a big change to the format this year. I think it has definitely opened it up from maybe a younger market to a more sort of, I guess, wider range of personalities and also some actual debate. And I think maybe compared to some of the other shows on TV at the moment, which are very focused on just sex and romance, then I actually think it's quite nice to have that contrast.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get straight into the headlines, actually. Let's talk romance. Now, it's not just the on-off ash wine making headlines, as The Sun pointed out with this little revelation. I had a secret wedding. Now we will divorce, say Celebrity Big Brother's Jess Impiazzi. Now, Dan, this has come as news to me as well.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, this is a bombshell that Jess wanted to reveal with us while she was in the house. So she has actually got married to a rugby league star from New Zealand, my homeland, called Denny Solomona.
So she's married?
She's married, officially. We've checked the marriage certificate and everything. It took place in Las Vegas in November. The same little chapel, actually, that Britney Spears got married.
Well, there's a claim.
So it was a quickie wedding. They got engaged that day, got married that evening. But the bad news is, it's over already.
Oh, my God.
She's going for a divorce.
While she's still in the house? Oh, my God. That is like shock news. When I saw that in the paper, I thought, oh, it might be a...
No, so she is, you know, she is single. She can obviously do whatever she wants in the house, but this was a very recent thing.
Good luck to her, whatever her decision is, and, you know, she's in there and she's doing well. I mean, the tabloids love a glamour girl. Are you liking her in there?
Oh, gosh, yeah. I think she's brilliant. What I like about her, actually, is the fact that she's sort of got an opinion, but not in a way where she forces it in people's faces. And I've always liked Jess. She's always taken an interest in the news and that.
Are we liking Jess?
Yeah.
I think we liking Jess in here as well. We're talking about relationships. I can't go away without talking about Andrew and Shane J. However, I was shook to read this headline from OK. Andrew Brady girlfriend, Celebrity Big Brother and The Apprentice contestant's secret girlfriend exposed. But who else has he been linked to? So many secrets in this house this year. I heard rumours he had a girlfriend. Is it true?
It is true, Riley. And I had heard before he went into the house as well. Firstly, it's fair to say Andrew is very open. You know, he's very, very open in terms of he likes to have fun. He's actually been in a bit of a raunchy movie before he was in The Apprentice. Then when he was in The Apprentice, he had a relationship with one of the female contestants.
I remember reading that. I remember that.
And then since leaving The Apprentice, he's actually got into a relationship with Rachel Rhodes, who is a bit of a rising radio star. Now, I love how this came out because it was in sort of brilliant fashion. You know our friend Mark Byron? Used to be on the show. He accidentally, or at least not to Rachel's approval, let slip on Twitter.
Oh!
So she's made all of her social media accounts private and all of that type of thing. I mean, imagining for her, right now, it's pretty mortifying.
This must be a bit tough
what is going on. It's a fairly new relationship, but it is an official
one. Oh, wow. God, the next thing you'll tell me, Anne Widdecombe's got 3 husbands or something. I'm worried now what the next one is. Let's talk about someone who I can legitimately call a friend of the show. Here is a headline from the Daily Star on Sunday. Chloe, £9,000 to chatter. Now, this story reports that after I offered Khloe Kardashian a little space on our panel or a chit-chat on the phone, she allegedly asked for a payment of £9,000 a minute to chat to me about her close personal friend, Malika. Can you believe that?
Well, I can't, because usually people are paying that type of money to phone you.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, I run the lines late at night. Do you know what I mean? I've got an actual statement here to read out from the source at Bots, guys.
Good.
Yeah. This is the official statement. The producers of Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side would like to make it abundantly clear that the reported story is absolute poppycock. Thank you. Poppycock. Take that one with you as well, dear. That's the end of that. But Chloe, if you are watching, babe, give me a call, darling.
Yeah, and it would be nice for her to support her best mate, wouldn't it? Because, my goodness, Malika on her show has to do all sorts of horrible things, doesn't she?
Well, I would love it if Chloe gave us a ring, or any of them. It'd be lovely to speak to them. But, moving on, I love a little Agatha Christie, so I was glad to see that the detectives at the Mirror reported this mystery. What's hiding in Anne Widdecombe's handbag, guys? Celebrity Big Brother mystery finally uncovered. Dan?
Well, I've done my best investigative journalism on this one.
Go on.
Ryland, to discover. So, firstly, she was allowed to have the handbag in the house.
Let's see the handbag in question. This is the handbag,
Loads of people saying, why is she allowed to have a handbag in the house when the others don't? Well, it's just simply she chose to take less clothes so that she could have the handbag with her. And like the Queen, she carries in her handbag at all time a little bit of makeup and some tissues.
Yeah. Good luck to her. That's what I say. If I wore an handbag, I'd do the same.
And she sort of is the queen of the Big Brother house right now, isn't she?
She's done it. And no cash. No cash.
Absolutely
never any cash.
no cash.
I love the fact Anne Widdecombe's got a handbag. Dan, you're going to stick around, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it up for Dan Watton, everyone. That's a headline. What do you like tonight? All right, don't move a muscle. After the break, I'm going to be bringing you that exclusive nominations news. There is an eviction this week, and we know who's up. See you after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side now. I've been dangling that nom-nom-nom carrot all night, but the moment has finally arrived. Earlier today, the men nominated for the first time. And I've got the exclusive. Have a look.
This is Big Brother.
You're right.
The housemates facing eviction this week are...
Shit.
Oh, the lights! Anne.
Oh, snap.
And Daniel.
You're joking.
Daniel. Oh, Daniel.
You're joking.
What? the fuck?
And John.
You're joking.
And John.
And John.
Oh, John.
I'm so shocked. And
Flip.
Okay.
Rachel.
Right.
And Andrew.
Andrew. Wow.
And housemates are now free to leave the sofas.
Cheers, Big Brother.
Oh, snap.
Well, we were right, weren't we?
So, to confirm, along with John, this week's nominated housemates are Anne, Andrew, Daniel, and Rachel. Dan, what are you making of that?
Really gutted.
You're gutted.
If I'm
Tell me
honest,
why.
absolutely gutted, because I think when you look at Anne and Andrew and Rachel, to me, they are really critical to this series. And whether you want them to win or not, you want to keep them in that house. So please do. And look, I like him. He seems like a lovely man, but you'd have to hope maybe that John would go because he hasn't really added that much to the house.
Well, I mean, it's the age-old debate, isn't it? You know, John's coming across as a really nice guy. Is he giving enough for you, the viewer? Michelle, what are you making of these ones that are up?
I'm really shocked that Andrew and Daniel are up, to be honest. I don't really understand John.
Can I just say, it was only the men that nominated, so...
Oh, my gosh.
Maybe they're shocked as well.
I am really confused about the nominations, apart from Anne and Rachel. I get that, but I don't think either of them should leave. I do agree with Dan. I think that maybe John should leave out of those lot, but it's really hard because it's John. And he's like a legend. We want him to stay, but out of them, he's contributing the least.
Yeah, look, let's be fair, you were a massive presence in the house when you were in there, so being up wasn't that much of a surprise to you. Are you surprised by any of this lot?
I'm surprised Daniel has been nominated because he is really popular in the house. He's really funny and he's telling some great gags, and unfortunately some of them are a little bit blue, so they're probably not getting broadcast, but he's extremely strong. But I think
but you've got a little soft spot for Daniel.
I have indeed. But I think we saw earlier on in a clip Rachel planting a little bomb with Daniel about Anne. And I think that's why Anne's probably ended up being nominated here. So, to me, it's karma that Rachel is also up. And unlike the rest of the panel, I would like Rachel or Anne to leave.
You would like either of them to? Sandy?
Well, babes.
That face, look at her face.
I'm shocked. I mean, Daniel.
You surprised he's up?
That's Dapper Dan, man.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
I've got to be honest,
Sorry.
I agree with you there, not from a viewer's point of view, but from an in-house point of view. He's very popular.
And Andrew. What, like... Anne, no, these people are supposed to be
Okay,
in.
Sandy's just reeling names off, guys.
No, Barnes can go, Rachel can go, and do you know what I mean? Like, don't, no, man, you can't. They're like the household,
But what
man.
I find most confusing, I've just said it, I'm going to say it again, it was only the men.
Do you not think that
nominate.
maybe they're voting for Andrew because they're seeing that Andrew is maybe hindering Courtney and Shane's what's the word? Time in the house, because I think that Courtney and Shane could have the potential to win, and maybe that her relationship with Daniel might be perturbing them to win. Does that make any sense?
No, I think I get where you're coming from.
Maybe because I think that Daniel might be the bad egg in that relationship. Maybe.
I would just like to make a comment from inside the house. I forgot to mention.
Exclusive, guys! It's like Channel 5 News. It's like Channel 5 News on here tonight.
Rachel's nickname within the house, which everyone uses to address her, is the boss.
Oh.
She used to come out.
And initially, wherever Rachel said went, it was why you didn't see many parties early on, because you wanted everybody to go to bed by 10 o'clock, and everybody kept the peace, and we
That's
all
why she used to
went to
go.
bed. But I think
No, I love
that is
Rachel.
starting to wear a little bit thin, because there are people in there who know it's Celebrity Big Brother. They want to have more fun. It's not a regime. And that's what's cost Rachel.
All right, India, let me come back to you with this. Do you think it would have been a different set of nominated housemates if the women were also allowed to vote this week?
I think it would.
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Are we surprised that the boys are up, considering it was just the boys that are voting? Barbara's outraged. Look.
I think that
Lovely
they want.
brooch.
Thank you, Diane. I think they want to get the strong characters out, the other ones, so they have time to shine. And I think if the big characters do go, I don't want Andrew to go. I've got a soft spot for him. But I think John might be a bit more because he's popular, but he's like quiet, isn't he, at the moment?
But this is the thing, ultimately, as it is with every single series of Big Brother, it's the housemates that decide who goes up for eviction, but it's the public that decide who stays in Celebrity Big Brother. Dan, do you think, I mean, India last week going, you know, it wasn't that much of a shock, shall I say, because of the week that India had, but for the series and for a viewing show, do you think that was the wrong decision?
Absolutely, I do. And I think we need India at some point back in. Do you know what I mean? Stirring the pot. But for that reason, I sort of implore people, you know, we need Anne, we need Rachel in this series. That's really important. And I think, can we please vote for people that are going to make this entertaining and interesting?
India, you just said you thought it would be different, a different outcome if the women were able to nominate. Let's say you were back in there and all of the women were able to nominate. Who do you think would have been added to that lineup or not been on that lineup?
Let me just have a quick look.
You have a peruse, darling.
Yeah.
Maybe genuine.
Yeah, I reckon the women voted for Genuine because of...
I think Genuine because of the Ashley thing
Yeah.
that's going on. Anne certainly wasn't impressed by it. And I think it was starting to wear... They were getting a little bit tired of it, just nothing happening.
Well, let's say this. Obviously, it was just the women that voted last week, but Johnny, he was up last time.
Well, I think
Not
Johnny
up at
would
the
have been
minute.
up if it was the women in the house voting, because I think he's just such a lad, and at the end of the day...
So if he's such a lad, why have the lads not voted for him, but voted for two of the other lads?
Because Johnny's like the
He's not going to win.
ultimate lad, and he's the ringleader in that group, I think.
Well, look, at this stage, we don't know who nominated who. We don't know how many of the nominations each housemate may have received. I do. But Michelle, if you were to guess who received the most nominations out of this lot, who would you go for?
I would have said Anne probably received the most, but it was because of the work of Rachel that she received the most.
Sandy, what do you think?
Same.
You think the same?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Rachel probably received the most, and I think she'll be in most danger from the public vote as well. The other one to go, I just can't call. But I
you think
disagree
Rachel
with
will go?
Well, I think Rachel might go, but I think we must keep Anne in because I don't agree with her views.
Do we agree?
Anne needs to stay. Anne's got a lot of followers. She's a lovely woman and she's changing. We're seeing a different side to her. You know, we're all warming to her.
We're seeing a different side to her. Let's not forget, it's a double this week,
no.
as we just said. I know. So I want to go down the panel and get your thoughts. We've not got long left. Dan, out of them, who do you think would be the two that might go?
Well, I'm really worried that
Okay, who do you
Rachel
want?
and Anne are at risk, but I really, really want John and Deppelaughs to
You
go.
want John and Daniel, Sandy?
Rachel and Barnes.
Rachel and John, Michelle?
Yeah, I echo that, them too.
India?
Yeah, well, I would like Rachel and Anne to go, but I actually think it's probably going to be Anne and John, who's been quite invisible.
You think? Been
Yeah,
invisible? Who
pretty
do we want?
invisible.
Who do we want out? Daniel and John?
I just thought we were shouting out.
You're
Daniel
just
and
shouting
John.
for the
Yeah,
role.
Daniel and John.
Daniel and John. Rachel and John.
Rachel and John.
This seems quite sparse. Anyone maybe want Andrew out? Anyone want him out?
We don't want Anne to go. We want to keep her in there.
I'm talking about Andrew, but good luck to you. Well, listen, on that note, give yourselves a massive round of applause. Every time, isn't it? Every time. Clean that ear out. Don't forget, watch the main show tomorrow to see the full set of nominations. That's all we've got time for tonight. And that's a thanks to my panel and a fantastic audience. Thank you. Join me tomorrow night just after 11. I'm going to be joined by Maya Jama, Anthony Costa, Vanessa Feltz is going to be here. Plus, in a box first, Psych meets Psychic when Judy James and the lovely Alex Gibbs go head-to-head. Until then, night-night.